Hello boys and girls. As I told you at the beginning of the week, we'll be discussing different forms of farming. My topic for the week is farming cattle and sheep. Now on this slide in front of you, you'll see there are three different types of cattle. The Nguni under number 1, Bosmara under number 2, and Afrikaner under number 3. Early farmers in South Africa, boys and girls, kept lots and lots of cattle. But that's changed over the years. As cities have grown, we weren't able to keep our animals in the cities. So we've got large farms that produce cattle, that breed cattle, in other words, make more and more cattle, that provide us with various things. In our home, it might be things that we eat or things that we use. For example, a leather bag, a leather couch, carpeting, and so on. But we'll discuss that in other slides. In front of you are 3 specific breeds of cattle that we have for farming in South Africa. Picture number 1 is the Nguni cattle. Picture number 2 is the Bosmara cattle. And picture number 3 is the Afrikaner cattle. Just by looking at them, I can already see that they look very different, although they provide us with similar things. If we look at the Nguni pattern of its skin, it's very beautiful. It's white and brown. Lots of them are black and brown. They could be grey and white. And they make beautiful carpeting in homes. And of course the horns are also used for decorative purposes. The Bosmara and the Afrikaner cattle are similar in colour, a deep chocolatey brown, and sometimes in certain lights it almost looks like a reddy brown colour. If we look at all 3 cattle, boys and girls, what can you see that is similar? And what can you see that is different? Well, let's have a look. First of all of them have 4 things that they stand on. What are those? That's correct. They all have 4 legs that they use for walking. All 3 cattle have ears that are found on the side of their head, little eyes, a snout, and a nose with big nostrils on it. Did you know, boys and girls, that they've got very good eyes, even though they're so small? They can look and see from the side almost to 330 degrees. They've also got very, very good hearing, so they can hear if there's danger from far. And they hear all the sounds in nature. And they've got very big nostrils, which means that they can smell very well. Another interesting fact in all 3 cattle is their tail. Their tail is used for 3 things. The first thing is called locomotion, movement. So the way they move, that little tail assists them. Even though the tail is so long and thin with a tassel bit at the end, all their tails look very similar. Even though that's a little tail, that helps with movement. And you can see that most cows, when they move, in fact all of them, their tail will move with them. Another thing is they use their tails for communication between each other. And the third thing is they use it to swat away things that they don't want. If there's a fly around, we usually do this. They use their tail and they smack it. So that's an interesting fact. Now, cattle, boys and girls, on farms love to be in pastures that are green with lots of grass and hay to chew on during the day. And of course, this brings us to what type of eaters they are. They eat grass. So they are called herbivores. They eat plants and grass in the area. And in fact, they actually have very, very strong teeth because they can actually bite through very, very hard pieces of grass and bulbs that they found in the earth, on the land. Right. So if we look at our 3 cows, can we try again and say the name and repeat it after me? Let's say Nguni for number 1. Nguni. Well done. Let's try number 2. Bosmara. Bosmara. And number 3 is the Afrikaner with a little hump on its back. Right, well done. Can you remember the differences and similarities? Look at the pictures again and see what they are. Remember what we said, that they are broken down into 2 parts. Things that we can eat from cattle and things that we can use in our home. We'll discuss that in the following slide.